All right, I think we are back and getting started. Dr. Daniele, take it away.
Okay, it is my absolute great pleasure to introduce to you Sharon Mclean, who will be joining us today. She's part of our UCSF Fresno community and has been such an asset to not only our medical students, residents, fellows, faculty, and providing wellness and services on our campus. And she's been instrumental the last several years in showing us how to de-stress, how to do some yoga and meditation at home. Sharon is a registered instructor with Yoga Alliance and a yoga therapist certified by the International Association of Yoga Therapists. She currently offers instruction via Zoom for Coil Yoga and the Fresno Cancer Center and UCSF Fresno. We're so happy for her to join us once again. So Sharon, take it away.
Thank you, Dr. Daniele, and it's such an honor to be part of this wonderful event. I will lead you through about a 14-minute, very gentle practice that will focus on breath work. You can do this seated, and so I'm going to move back here to my mat. This is my little yoga practice room at home. So I'm sitting on the floor. You can stay seated in your chair or your couch or wherever you are, or come down on the floor with me. Just make sure you're really comfortable. Take a couple of deep breaths. And I want you to bring your attention to your breath. So this might be the first time all day you've even thought about your breathing. I want you to start to slow down your breath. Just imagine that the breath is just really soft. Bring a softness to the quality of the breath. Maybe let your hands just rest wherever they're comfortable. And think about being rooted down from your sit bones, from your seat. I want you to think about how your body is sitting. And so generally we tend to kind of slouch a little bit because we're always doing work out here, driving, keyboarding, whatever. Think about tipping the hips forward. So you're up on these sit bones here. You can kind of feel them. And that brings more of that natural S curve into the spine rather than this C curve like this. So just do the best you can. Don't stress over it, but try to find a position for your spine that feels comfortable. And then we're starting to move into some movement that will open up the neck, okay? Before we do that, just bring your hand on your belly, hand on your heart. And I'd like you to think about the breath as having a watery quality. So just imagining that as you breathe in deeply, slowly, allow the breath to lower down to the lower belly. Imagine it flooding into the lower back, down to the pelvic floor, down to even the hips. And so I like having my hands here to help me deepen the breath because normally we're breathing using just the tops of the lungs and we're really not getting that full oxygenation. So just take a couple deep breaths and you'll notice your hands will move slightly on the inhale. Mine are moving slightly apart, and then exhale, hands moving just slightly together. Just do that a couple of times. Don't worry about if you're doing it right or wrong. Just basically think about the breath expanding not only into the top of the lungs, but lower regions and to the back body. We have all that area behind us, the back side of the lungs, back side of the body, laterally out towards the ribs. The breath can expand here. Okay. Let your hands relax down. And now I want to start to move into the neck opening. So let's just take our right hand, and if you're on the floor, you can set it down here. If you're in a chair, maybe your hand and lower arm is on the arm of the chair, or you can just put your hand on your right thigh. And let's start to lower the right ear towards the right shoulder. And let's keep the left shoulder back, so that we really keep the opening along the left side of the body. Extend your left arm out. Thumb is pointing up, palm is forward. Maybe just explore a little bit of movement here. The head moves forward and back. And then reconnect with that breath. So keep the breath still moving in that slow, soft, calming manner. And then let's start to do some little arm rotations. So inhale, the arm comes in front of us, moves up and behind us. On the exhale, we begin to lower it, reaching all the way through fingertips. Move really slowly here and start to explore these different areas in the body. And so if this extension of the arm doesn't feel good in this shoulder, you can bend this elbow as much as you need. You could make these arm rotations like a little wing here. So just modify so that as you're moving and breathing, it feels really comfortable. Inhale. Let's do about 2 more of those. Exhale as the arm comes down, and then inhale, just gentle, mindful movement. Let's reach this left hand away from us. Imagine that you're reaching the crown of your head in this direction and the fingertips on the left hand reaching in the opposite. Notice if you feel a release or any sensation as we work into this tight area of the neck. And then take an inhale. As you exhale, maybe press through that right hand to help you move back to center. Let's just pause here for a moment. Okay, so I really encourage you to think about pausing in your yoga practice or in your life every day as you're busy, maybe just stopping for a moment, checking in with your breath, how it's moving through you. And then let's exhale and let's take that movement to the other side. So inhale, left hand. Exhale, the left hand lowers down either on the floor, on your leg, on an arm. Maybe there's someone sitting next to you. You're going to take hold of them. Let's start to lower the left ear to the left shoulder and open up all this soft tissue on the right side of the neck, opening up these spaces between the ribs and all the intercostal muscles that contract there. Extend the right arm out. And then let's start to move into those arm rotations. And I want to talk to you about breath. So what is all the emphasis on this deep abdominal breathing? So we can control our breath. It's voluntary and involuntary. And when we control the breath and slow it down, we create a state in the body. We shift the nervous system so that we're managing stress better. We're able to initiate our relaxation response. It calms us. It can help us sleep better. And it can manage inflammation. So I really know firsthand, I've dealt with different situations in my own body and in a lot of my clients, and I've seen how this full deep breath can really just help the body find equanimity, that state of calm, regardless of what's going on without you. So let's reach the right fingers away, crown of the head reaching in the opposite direction. Take a big full breath here. And exhale. Take another inhale and exhale as you press through the left hand, bringing yourself back up to center. Let's pause again. And if it's comfortable for you, you could close your eyes for a moment. If not, just kind of blur your focus off on the horizon. And just notice if there are any shifts in how your body's feeling physically. Just be curious about these details of being in our physical body. And notice if the breath maybe even already is flowing a little more easily through your body since we've started to open up some of the primary respiratory and the secondary respiratory muscles, basically the muscles we breathe with. Okay, a little bit more on the neck. So let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, turn your head all the way to the right. Even let your eyes focus as far to the right as they can, a little yoga for the eyes. And then on an exhale, come back to center. Take an inhale. Exhale, turn the head to the left. Notice where you feel a release, a stretching, any interesting sensation. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center and exhale. Bringing the head back to center. Let's pause for a moment. Reconnect with our breath. So anytime that you are feeling stress or pain or discomfort, or you feel like you're out of your body, just take a moment, ground down either through your feet standing or sitting, and reconnect with that full deep breath. Just imagine it like water, waves moving through the body, or any other image that works for you. So I want to do one more little movement here for the shoulders. So let's take an inhale and bring the shoulders forward. So let me sit sideways also so you can see. So inhale, shoulders forward and up. Exhale, shoulders come behind and down. Inhale, big shoulder circles. Exhale. Continuing like that, about 2 more forward. So these movements I'm sharing with you are things that you can do if you have, 15 minutes, 10 minutes to help loosen some of the stress that we're carrying. Okay, so let's reverse. Inhale, shoulders come back and up. Exhale, forward and down. And you can see my arms are just kind of following my shoulders. My arms and my hands kind of have a life of their own. That's fine. You can even add some interesting movement. And finishing up, let's pause again. How are you feeling? Soften, lengthen the breath, and if you can, lengthen the exhale a couple of counts longer than the inhale. And what that does is it helps to initiate the relaxation response in our body. So we're basically taking the nervous system, calming it down, switching it over to that more relaxing, calming place where our body can start to restore and balance. Okay, one last, I know I keep saying one last thing. There's so much I want to share, but I'm grateful we have these 15 minutes. But let's pretend we have a really thick turtleneck on. Start to make really gentle circles with the head on the neck. So we're taking really special care of those neck vertebrae. They can be a little bit sensitive, and we want this to feel good. We don't want to add more stress to the body in our yoga practice. And then let's rotate in the opposite direction. Are you breathing? Can you multitask? A few more breaths. Back to center. And so this last bit of our time together in a yoga practice, it's normally called Shavasana or final relaxation pose. If we had a more active practice, we'd be lying down for this. And you could do that. You are at home. Otherwise, just sit where you are, get comfortable. We'll take about another minute and just find some stillness. Just let your breath move naturally now. Imagine it like waves. I like to imagine that I'm just riding the waves. I'm body surfing, floating on the waves as they carry me. During this last pose, all the benefits of the practice can integrate into mind and body. If your thoughts are distracting you, which they will, just let them be. Imagine your thoughts like puffy little white clouds floating across that blue sky, which is your mind. Just let the clouds go. You don't need to examine them. Softening through the shoulders, the neck. Swallow, relax the back of your tongue and your jaw. And releasing any tension in the temples. You always have your breath with you to help calm you. Gently open your eyes if they were closed, and that ends our practice. So thank you so much for letting me share that with you. Have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you, Sharon. Oh my
You're
gosh.
welcome. My
I'm
pleasure.
so relaxed. I'm so relaxed already just in those 15 minutes.
Yay.
And
Doesn't
I
take
see lots of
much.
attendees saying the same thing. So that's
so
really
happy.
nice.
Thank you. Thank you. And remember, this is now that we're in Zoom world and virtual world, these are simple things that we can do in between our conferences, our meetings. anytime you're sitting there watching TV, these are simple things that you can do at home, which, a lot of this stuff doesn't seem like a lot, but it really is. It really helps in refocusing and bringing down the stress hormones so that you can function better with everything in life. So thank you, Sharon. We really appreciate that.